Hey everybody, Jim, also known as Final Neuron, back again. Some more Ogre Battle 64. Let's get to it. So it's been a bit. It's been a bit since I've been in this game. But we have been facing increasing attacks from the Central Division forced by Lotus, and last time we had a bunch of Knights Templar coming after us. But it looks like finally we're going to be able to make contact with the Eastern Division. From what I've heard from the scout, the Central Division is waiting for us. The Eastern Orthodox Church has fallen to the Central Division. To Lotus? No, I didn't say that. The followers of Birth would not fall to Lotus that easily. But since the Eastern Orthodox isn't resisting, the Central Division has just waltzed into the Eastern region. Well, I guess we're doing the same thing. Yeah, but I don't understand why the Eastern Orthodox isn't fighting back. It is odd indeed. And it is. It has the makings of a holy war between the two factions. We have no choice but to move onward, though. Now, this is our plan. You can see on the board here. Let's get started. We will strike from Dibno in the south. Our destination is Castle Gran, located a day and a half north of Dibno. We must take the castle. Just like he always starts with, let's get started, he always says, we must take, whatever the headquarters is. Our intelligence indicates their troops are heavily armed. It will take us significant time to break through their defenses. The narrowness of this area will make avoiding them next to impossible. We must clear this area of all enemy troops to reach Castle Gran. This gives them an advantage. We must be prudent and devise a good plan. Here's my good plan. There's no neutral cities to worry about. It's 5 cities on this map, and there really is only one way through. Even if I had air units, their usefulness would be really limited here. Because, yeah, I'd be able to jump back and forth across the river, but to do what? To sneak attack their headquarters? I want to take all of the cities, and I want to clear all the units to get experience. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that city to the north of us immediately, of course. We'll leave a couple of units back on the headquarters in case they have a sneak attack or an airstrike or something planned. And that is something to consider. The headquarters is right next to a river. So if they have air units coming in, one, I'll be able to pin them against the river if they come from the west and wipe them out quickly that way. But also, my space for maneuver will be limited. But anyway, I'll send a force directly north to that next town. Take that. And that'll be the path that their units will all try to come through. Unless they're scripted to do something different, they won't go east around the bend in the river. That's not the shortest path. That city to the northwest, it's all by itself on the west side of the river, which means the only way that it's going to matter is if units are stationed there and staging to attack me. So from this city, I'll poke northwest and see what's up there. If there's a unit, I'll send something appropriate to wipe it out. I won't capture the city yet. I'll leave it alone. And then I'll bring my forces back to this city and send everything north to the next city. At this point, it's going to depend on what they do. If they're sending tons of units across at me, then I'll be reacting to whatever they're throwing at me. If they have a bunch of air units, kind of like last time, if they have a bunch of air units trying to slice through and jump across the river or something like that, I'll have to play intercept. But once we've taken this second city up here, we'll be able to fend off whatever they're sending and then put an attack into crossing that final river. Once we get across that final river, we'll be basically done. So after the first two cities, and then one more push, should be done here. At that point, if there's no air units on the map, I may have already captured that western city across the river, and then capturing the last city near the top will not be that much of an issue. They may have one unit stationed on it. Yeah, but all of their mobile stuff should be done by then. Hugo, why was I summoned to the meeting? Why today? Well, do I get a special assignment? Am I right? Oh, come on, Hugo, tell me. Why are you all excited? No, it's nothing like that. We have a visitor who says she knows you well. She should be here soon. Leia! That's not a girl's voice. Let me do better. I can do better. There you are, Leia. Meridia? Wait, I'm getting my girl voices mixed up. Meridia? Why are you... I can't believe you really joined the Revolutionary Army. Your father is worried about you. Why won't you come home? You came all the way here to tell me that? Of course not. I'm sorry, my Meridia voice sucks. I'll do better. Well, give me a sec. Okay, she's gonna be a valley girl. I was asked to deliver a message to the Revolutionary Army. That's kind of how she strikes me. Are you Isom? My name is Meridia. Wink. I came from the north to deliver a message from Count Silvus, Lord of Argent. Though they are few in number, there are people in the Central Legion who support the revolution. We cannot possibly act, but we're willing to support you as much as possible. I ought to have gone directly to Sir Frederick, but under these circumstances, this is the best we could do. I'm terribly sorry. But would you mind telling Sir Frederick about our intentions? That is not a problem at all. Be rest assured that we will. But isn't that great news, Isom? Count Silvus? Wait a moment. You noticed? Yes, Count Silvus is indeed Leia's father. He loves his daughter very much, but she ran away and joined the army. You know, it wouldn't hurt to say hi to him once in a while. No, I am not going back. You hear me? I'm not going home, period. Neither of us figured you'd listen to us. Then what? Please take good care of Leia, Isom. And then I'm not even going to attempt to laugh. And I want to ask for one more favor. May I join your battalion? I'm kind of worried about Leia too. Of course. Yeah. She's a muse, upgraded sorceress. So having her join means I instantly get access to the class. Sure, yeah, I'll gladly have an advanced class unit that unlocks a class for me. Try to get along with Leia, okay? No problem. We've known each other for a long time. My Meridia voice is maximum cringe. The cringe is in full effect. Okay, full disclosure. I used a duplication bug to copy an item that allows you to decrease a unit's alignment. And I did that because I had quite a few units that are like pegged at the top of the alignment scale. And so they couldn't advance in their classes, including Rebecca's dragons and some Deanna and so forth. I've done everything that anybody on the internet says that you need to do to lower the alignment of units, and it didn't lower it. So, yeah. It's not really perfectly understood how to do it. There are things that seem to generally lower alignment. I've done all of them. It didn't work. So I suspect there are mechanics that no one has fully realized. Like, once you get to a certain point in your alignment, it's harder to change it or something like that. So anyway, full disclosure, I duplicated that item. It doesn't give you any extra stats or anything like that. It just lets you change the alignment of the unit so that you can qualify for a class upgrade. Now, there is a way that you can lower alignment for characters, and that's by taking them out of their squad, putting them in a squad with a bunch of skeletons, and then go do a bunch of neutral encounters, and it takes forever. I could literally spend hours a day for a week and not have all of my characters where they needed to be, because neutral encounters are so uncommon. So there are legitimate ways to get the result that take enormous amounts of time. This is a retro game. I'm not going to worry about the dupe bug all that much. That being said, now that we've got Meridia and access to that class, I'm going to see if I can change class for my witch. Let's see. Here we go. Siren. She can't change class. Okay, so let's try it from the other way. For some reason, there are two different ways to change class. What does she need to be able to change class? She needs a little mentality. Okay. So I'm really interested in trying to get that class. I'm going to go ahead and use this item that lets you level up. So my witch gains 1 level. And now let's see if she can change to that class. There she goes. Why is this important? I think she gets better stat growth towards spell damage as this class. Oh yeah, I can do that from here. Equip item. And of course, I want her to do as much as possible since she has my Book of Annihilation. A couple of other things. Rebecca's group was the main one that got the morale decreasing items. So everybody in her squad is middling now, and it also let her upgrade to Dragon Master. So there's that. I shuffled the units a little bit. I'm not going to go into that too much. Isom has a Deanna now, and one of Dio's fencers became a sword master. And I think that is the most of it. Yeah, Shirley's group has 1 Freya. And we're going to have to level Leia up so that she can get some of the class upgrades also. They won't have any trouble because they can do high alignment for their upgrade to Freya. Okay, everybody's dispatched. So this first city is mid-high in alignment. And Rebecca, with how she is now, is pretty ideal for that. So we'll let her go first. Unpause it for a second so she can get a head start. And right away we see a cataphract sitting on that city. It's mostly defensive oriented. Actually, she's not a very good match for that. I'll probably let her go at it anyway. We're going to send everybody except for a couple units up. Scratch that. We're going to send everyone except for Isom up. Isom is so over-leveled. He's getting like 5 experience per kill. It's pathetic. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. All right, an Archmage. Wow, that's... they're still sending those after me. So they'll do a ton of spell damage. A lot. They'll also be extremely weak. Oh, electric shield. Nice. Extremely weak to pretty much any kind of damage, but especially physical damage. So with this giant ball of units I've got going up, I mean, obviously I'm going to stack attack him. Aha! Here we go. There's a Freya to the west. Looks like she was coming down from that western city. Okay, we've seen this before. The Freya on the mid-rank on the side. That's going to be a so-so unit to encounter. This Paladin is in a weird spot. He only gets 2 strikes here. Again, that unit's firepower is kind of mixed. Like, they don't have all the strikes they could, and they're hitting the back instead of the front with some. So it's kind of, I'm not sure what to think. I would definitely organize that group differently if it were for me to decide. So as soon as these dragons level up, they should advance to their next tier. But they've got to level up first. Boy, these guys are... Am I hitting weakest? Autonomous. Yeah, I had to reform a bunch of my units in order to class change leaders, or try to. So I'm going to have to be careful to set their battle strategy. Rebecca is getting beat up. There's so many spells here. It's not that any of them is particularly good. Ah, there we go. So they both transformed into Quetzalcoatl. They look kind of funky. In my opinion, they look very funky. But they're very, very, very good. So let's go ahead and redo our formation here. Okay. She can back tank for that dragon, I guess. You know what? Let's just have her back. There's no reason to get in danger this early in the battle. And where are our cities? This is the Witch's Den. Okay, so that's a reason I may end up taking that sooner than I would otherwise. And it looks like my headquarters is the shop. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. We've actually got some new stuff here. Let's see. The procs, a magical axe. Strength 9. It's a fire axe. Oh, and there's a fire spear. Interesting. I'll definitely buy one of each of those. Come on now, controller. Large shield, tower shield. Tower shield is... it's not that exciting. I've got some of them. Plate mail, heavy armor. Okay, so we're going to buy a Volcatus. And a Prox. Depending on how the Prox compares to the Satan's Bulova, we'll see whether or not Aznabel's group ends up replacing their axes, scythe-looking axes, with those. Oh, it's only going to go one way. Yeah, we're attacking leader. Really? No plasma ball? Okay. Okay. Maybe the AI is smart enough that it looks to see if one of the two... No, that can't be. I've seen it do differently before. No. It's not like it's trying to conserve abilities by not overkilling. So we're going to pause here. There's a chance that I need to run. Nah. It is going to make my wizard weak. Very, very weak. But not weak enough that he needs to leave. The fact that Linus's group is getting so much experience out of this fight shows how my levels compare to theirs. And it's not great. It's not in my favor. So my Swordmaster has that special sword that I found last time. But unless it does magic damage, it does. It actually reduces the strength compared to the Claymore, which is the default weapon for his Swordmaster class. So it's actually a little weaker, except if it has magic damage, it penetrates defense better. So probably overall, it's a better weapon. He's doing a lot more damage than the Fencer is. Also, Swordmasters get 3 strikes in the front. So right now I'm doing 8 strikes just off of my front line. Once the other Fencer levels up, he should be able to class up also. And that's going to be a significant increase in their damage ability. That's a lot of experience per level. A lot. And considering how high their alignment's going, I'm probably going to need to use some of that item to reduce their alignment. Okay, so I paused because I don't want to capture the city. It's a mid-high alignment city. Oh, I was going to have Rebecca take it, wasn't I? And we'll have all these people split off to hit units that are incoming. We see an air unit coming in. That's kind of what I've been wary of this whole time. Looks like a Vulcan. Yeah. Okay, that's nothing too much to worry about. It's more about where he's going than necessarily what's in the unit. So we're going to target weakest. The leader is not particularly accessible. One concern is that archer in the back is probably going to take all the spell damage. Most likely. And we'll see how that goes. If they target the Fencer instead, some of the splash will go to the Swordmaster. That would probably increase their overall damage. But they go for the backline instead. Okay, so they're spreading it out. A thing I've said about area of effect attacks for forever is that AoE attacks are garbage right up until they aren't. They're useless right up until they aren't, and then they start becoming devastating. Yeah, spreading your damage out across a lot of targets is a terrible idea until you start taking out targets, and then they start falling like dominoes. So there goes one. No bow strike? Okay. Too bad. An enemy with 1 hit point. Happens so often. So I've got someone chasing just about every unit I can see except for that air unit. Hopefully we'll get the liberate here just in a second so everybody can collapse back on the city and heal up. And then whoever's not hurt, I'll have them poke northwest and see what's going on up there. We do have an air unit up that way. There's a danger that if I don't defeat it outright, it'll keep going up to that city and force me to actually sortie up that way. We'll see. This is going really well. My Bahamut is, he's doing backline damage now with his breath attack, which actually stacks really well with the backline Valkyrie and Freya. So now all my attacks target the backline. And they're all area of effect. Well, the Valkyrie's not. It will be. They will always be area of effect. And once the other Valkyrie class is up, they'll combo. They may combo anyway, actually. You can combo different tier magic from the same class. That was quick, Vincent. Wow. Yeah, sent that dude straight to the underworld. Pop. Oh, crap. Vincent killed his target, and because he was on the city, he took the city. Luckily, Vincent was within the alignment range needed to liberate it. Ah! Thanks for being so proactive, Vincent. I mean, it was almost a disaster, but it turned out okay. Boom. Yeah, tier 3 dragons are just beastly. They're just beastly. Wow, 57. And that's without the splash considered. Wow, those Freya are going to do a lot of damage. Something a little weird about the Freya is if you replace their class weapon, the Thunder Spear, if you replace it with something else, it turns into a physical attack in the back line. So I wanted to give her a Balder Spear because it raises intelligence, and normally that would mean doing more damage with spells than what the Lightning Spear or Thunder Spear, whatever, would do. But for whatever reason, that turns her spell attack into a physical attack. So I guess I don't have an option there. All right, I'm going to stack everybody on this city. Okay, I don't have to stack everybody because most of them haven't even fought yet. And the ones that have, for the most part, have had some sustain. I'm really looking forward to Aznabel getting out there with his former witch, now Muse, out there ready to throw down some much heavier annihilations. There we go. Yeah, there's a combo Thunder Flare. It's just a slightly powered up version of Thunder Flare. Once they are casting Thunder Flare, both of them, when they combo, it'll hit everything. It'll hit the entire enemy field. And it will have that reduced damage near the corners effect, but typically that's not going to be much of a problem. Okay, this is special. We're going to hit the leader because all of our attacks can hit it now. Good blocking. Wonder, is that guy... the map hasn't been running long enough for him to be fatigued. It doesn't count as a flying unit because the paladin's in it. Okay, heal that off. Oh, what's the splash going to be? Pretty good. Pretty good. The breath attack on the paladin will put him very low. Even if he blocks, it'll put him pretty low. And so the next spell damage, yeah, should be enough to wipe him out, even if he blocks that. Here we go. Gonna go ahead and pause here. 17, not bad. I'll probably send Shirley back to base, though. Let some other people pick up some experience. Some people like Katreda, very underleveled. Katreda is way underleveled. I don't think I even have her deployed right now either. Up, there's a Black Knight in the northwest. Okay, let's take a look at that. Shion. Okay, it's not a terrible group, but it's not what you would call a good group. A lot of physical defense, but some very suboptimal offense. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how that happens. I think Linus would probably just devastate them. We'll go ahead and hit leader. She's wide open. Why not? We hit this from the side and wow. Yep. Although Troy is not that high level, he's got 4 magic weapons in this group. So we were able to skull this one out real quick. That was good. And yeah, let's just switch to weakest. I don't know what difference it'll make. It probably means the Valkyrie. No, I guess not. I don't know how an upgraded class is weaker than the Valkyrie, but Troy decided not to hit the weak one on the side. The funny thing is, if I had fought them from the front, Troy's group would have been especially vulnerable to their area lightning attacks. But that's not how that went. Not how that went at all. Vincent V is at the destination. I moved him off to the side because he wasn't sitting square on the center of the city. Oh, okay. We've got a Dragon Master, and what is that, a Freya? Or is it a Valkyrie in the northeast? We'll see in a second. We've broken these units that we've come across so far hard. None of them are ready to face off against us. We have that air unit incoming. Unless he's high level, he's not going to get a whole lot done. Yeah, now you can see how their area attacks will really do damage to this squad. Probably not enough to overcome the healing, because there's a ton of it. Ah, come on, Troy. That's your job, Troy. Your job is to not get defended against. And I heal off almost all of the damage. How's it turn out? Yep. Oh, draw! Draw means both sides did exactly the same damage. Down to the point. So, that's something we haven't really seen before. I don't think I've gotten a single draw this whole playthrough. Ooh, not gonna go well. The Phalanx here came out of Aznabel's group. Not Aznabel, Ankaseth's group. I broke his squad up a little bit just so I'd have an excuse to use it, mostly. It felt almost overpowered the way that it was. Very good. That puppy is still leveling too. Man, they're so strong and he's still leveling. The funny thing is they go from being a Glaive of Champion. Interesting. I guess that's a Fencer Swordmaster unit, equipment. The Hounds go from being really strong physical-based units to really strong physical-based units that also have a good spell attack. Like, they're all-rounders. They're definitely all-rounders. They're tanky enough to tank. They do more than enough physical damage to be able to serve as a physical frontliner. And they have a decently damaging backline spell that has a sleep effect. They're good. There's nothing wrong with them. If you can put enough physical damage on them, because their physical defense isn't that high, then you can take them down. And they're not especially tanky against magic. But again, their health pool is enough that they can tank. So, as long as you've got them supported, I mean, they will punch through. If there's a flaw in this unit, it's that there's no sustain to back these guys up. I'm not sure that necessarily counts as a flaw, though. Let's go ahead and have Troy follow this up. And now let's look at these other units we haven't seen. There's a Legion up there. That's what I had seen before. Uh-oh. Okay, so there's a Quetzalcoatl in the back here, and then 3 Dragon Masters. I don't know why 3 Dragon Masters, but they're there. We'll go ahead and have Aznabel do it. So this Freya, okay, an Enchanter with 2 Golems. The Enchanter is vulnerable, so that's our solution to that. The Freya, again, why? And we'll look at the Legion. It's probably just 2 soldiers, 3 soldiers, yeah. Unless that Legion is going to respond to me getting close to it, don't have to worry about it. Alright, Aznabel. We'll go against weakest, mostly because of the pumpkins. I want them to do the maximum damage that they can. Now, can we get our witch attack off? Because the Quetzalcoatl can stun. Who's first? Me. That means I win. Oh, I didn't manage to take it out. Ugh. He didn't manage to get any stuns on me, so that was good. And I have one more spell. Thankfully, that'll take out their attack all with the Quetzalcoatl. Solid damage. Solid damage. So Asnabel did well, but he also took a good bit of damage because tier 3 dragons in the back do damage. They always get something done. We'll see if we can't take out the leader here by just focusing our front line on it. You guys need to get your damage done. Their damage is not that well focused, the enemy's squad, so my healing should be able to overcome it. Yeah, they're not even hitting the same frontline units, so I'm just going to be able to... There we go. I'm going to be able to tank it and heal it all off. Against this squad, you either need good area damage or you need very focused damage. They won. Tell me again about how you won. Tell me again. It's gold, right? Yeah, it's gold. So that's not really a worry. I've got incoming from the north. Let's go ahead and have Leia move up this way. It looks like it went back to heal. Yeah, it went back to heal. So this is a chance for Leia to grab a quick fight. And we can test out that Legion, see if it's going to move on us or not. How you doing? Camp here, buddy. Camp. I don't want him going into a fight weakened. So with Leia, instead, let's have her pick off this Paladin group. The Paladin's already gone. The rest of them should be middling alignment. I'm going to try to continue obeying what alignment stuff I ought to be fighting and killing to develop my units, even though I've duplicated that item. But once you get to tier 3 units, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, you can have really evil paladins. It doesn't hurt their ability to be paladins. It just prevents you from being able to get there. Yeah, this group definitely needs to class up. Oh, Leia. Leia must already have her next tier class because she's doing physical attacks in the back line, which is what that Balder Spear did. It turned her into a backline melee fighter. So I'll have to replace that. She's not going to be able to properly fight until then. Yeah, so it's to the point that I'll probably just send her back to headquarters so that they can retool, so that she can re-equip. I don't think there's a way to equip them when they're on the field. It'd be nice if you got access to more options when you're sitting on headquarters. If you're on a base with another unit, you can do some sharing between those units. It would be nice if you could do something like that when you're sitting on headquarters, like to be able to equip items or gear out of your inventory from there. But instead, you have to undeploy them. Healing items. I should have taken advantage of the pause gap. At least I'm going to want to cycle my knight. Assuming they survive this, which doesn't look like they will. Yeah, his block game is doing really well. He had to block the spell to make it, though. 50 experience. So about 25 ahead. Is that right? Were there 2 kills? Pretty good. Crown of Intellect. I'm getting a lot of stat items this time. I haven't been duping those because those are actual stat increase items that make your unit better at fighting. And to me, that's definitely cheating. The whole alignment altering thing that I'm doing, honestly, I consider that more to be like a weakness in the game. All right, Troy's going to get it on. We haven't seen another air unit yet. While Troy's over on the west, I'll probably have him do some treasure hunting and also scout up to the north to see if there's any other air units poking around. If there are not, yeah, I'll straight up start ignoring this side of the battle, and I'll send my offensive up to the next city. Wow, whoa, that was a lot of damage. Dark Knights are not necessarily awesome when you get them, because Paladins have 3 magic weapon strikes and Dark Knights only have 2. Dark Knights get a lot of strength growth though. They get a lot of it. So later in the game, they start hitting hard. If those Dark Knights had all been in the front row, they would have been pretty threatening to this group. They would have been able to focus their damage, including on Troy, bypassing his normal physical defense. But they didn't do that. They weren't arrayed very well. So I sculled him. We'll make sure he's chasing units and not the stronghold. Yeah, it looks like he was after the stronghold. Alright, so we're going to send Dio up this way a little bit just to scout things out for us. Leia is going to rest before retreating because she's just about completely fatigued out. And Troy, yeah, there's that Legion. Troy is going to give us that far ahead scouting that we were looking for. I believe this Dragon Master has already lost her dragon, right? Yeah, which is almost all of their firepower. So Dio will have no trouble just finishing off that unit. Meanwhile, on the western side of the river, this actually still has most of its stuff. Again, their damage is pretty spread out. My healing should be able to keep up. There's a good bit of damage to that chicken man. Pretty good bit, but yeah, not as much as the healing. If anything in the game is kind of like a cheat, it's how much healing gives you. If you've been following the series, you've seen a lot of times where I fought an enemy squad and I lost the combat, but their units were all banged up and mine were basically fine. Yeah. The only real thing was they got to hold position, but for me, wiping out the enemy's soldiers is the true victory. Like, that's the actual thing that's going to move me towards winning the battle. Yeah, everything here has good physical defense, everything in the enemy squad. All of my attacks are magic weapon attacks, so you can see just how well magic weapons are able to punch through physical defense. And you know, in most games, if a unit has really strong physical defense, the magic defense is not so strong. Like, they intentionally give you some sort of counterplay against units. This game, I wouldn't say it's necessarily like that. Like a Black Knight in general has less defense against magic than what even a sorcerer would, much less the upgraded version. But it's not so profoundly different that it dictates what you have to do for counterplay. I have a spider crawling on my monitor, and it looks like a face hugger from Aliens. It has these extra long front legs on it. Yikes. So yeah, this should be a finished unit right here. One more. That alignment up. Every time I get alignment up, it gets harder to turn those 2 archers into Deanna. They're already too high to qualify for the class. Okay, so this is a pretty likely looking treasure location. And might be able to see the enemy headquarters from there. While we're at it, Yeah. Vincent, buddy. Nah, we'll save him. We'll send him up on the assault. I really like Vincent's group. I think Shirley needs a little bit more in the way of levels. If there's anybody that doesn't, it's Aznabel. Everybody's fully classed up, so their alignment isn't really that big of an issue. Yeah, creepy spider. I'm gonna have to deal with this thing. Okay, thank goodness. The alien spider is dead. There's nothing worse than having a spider crawling pretty close to you and then you can't find it. Okay, there are worse things, but that's a bad thing. So Dio's going to deal with this Dragon Master. Quote unquote Dragon Master. Not much of a Dragon Master with no dragon, are you? And we'll go ahead and hit leader to make sure we skull it. Just to make it easier to deal with later. Does that two-handed sword, does it have a ring near the end of it? Why? Why would you stick a ring into a sword? You try to cut and the ring's just going to keep it from penetrating. Ah. Okay. Sure, whatever. So the way this game tends to go as far as alignment, if you have as many units as you can, they tend to under level a bit and constantly have their alignment going up. If you don't do that, if you have them, if you have fewer squads and they tend to get over leveled, then their alignment will tend to go down, but it takes several battles really for that to start taking effect. Okay, there's a cataphract up here named Guy. Oh, okay, so we will have to send something special after that. He's got strong physical defense and then a lot of healing in the back. Yeah, so we'll have to figure out a way to deal with that. That unit could be a pain when it starts to run away, because those paladins will suddenly become quite offensively powerful. So I split the... What was this? Oh, a Freya. Yeah, I split the Freya off of this group. It's not really a threat now. Legions, man. They're just never good. Oh, this is actually going to get that unit really low. That's all of their attacks, though. So, as long as I have another healing. Yeah. I'll turn out fine after this fight. And obviously, they did not come out on top, even if they outdamaged me. Nothing to fear there. So let's go ahead and have Dio hit the Enchanter as well. I may just have him wipe this whole thing. I'm not quite keeping my word here. I could already be moving up to this city with my main forces, so I'm going to immediately do that after this fight. I'm guessing I'm still targeting leader with the way that they're targeting the leader. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Those golems will do pretty good. They'll do a little under 100 damage each over the course of the fight. Which, needless to say, that's quite a bit of damage. I'll go ahead and back. Why take extra damage? Just to top things off here. Well, I was going to say that I would send Dio back to headquarters so that he can do a class change, but that's... I don't think he can. I think I would have to buy one of the pieces of equipment. And you can't do that during a battle. Our newly altered Rebecca is more than enough of a match for neutral. She should have zero trouble doing that. Give her plenty of space, and then we'll send pretty much everybody else with her. Okay, so Troy has reached his end point up here. We'll have him move over here as close to the river as he can get. And that's as much as we're going to see from him. Looks like we're just a little out of range of the capital, the enemy headquarters. This paladin group has some punch to it. It has some punch. They could have put the paladin in the front line and gotten an extra attack out of him. As it is, they'll have 8, 9, 10 strikes. And most of those are going to be magic swords. So it's nothing to sneeze at. Rebecca ready to go. Ha. Okay, we'll see how my dragons can do. Yeah, they're targeting backline now, so... Oh, the arrangement of these characters. He did like 240 damage there with his attack. That's a lot of damage. Oh, that's a lot. But yeah, it targets things nearest to the center tile most strongly. Everything was one block away from the center tile, so it was taking a lot of damage. In fact, because of the paralyze, I think I'm going to go ahead and experiment with having Rebecca in the front. Does she do better in the mid row? She only gets 2 attacks no matter what. So we'll go ahead and stick this in the back. There we go. And she's not too bad for her tankiness. Like, her health is not that bad. Liberated. So I'll wait and I will visit all the towns at the same time. I'm going to have Leia deal with the towns south of here. Everybody pile up. Okay, so I've re-equipped Leia. She's got her Thunder Spear. Apparently, that's the only one that lets her do her Thunder attack. And also, I gave her the new Electric Shield we just found. Linus is actually kind of starting to get behind in levels, so we're going to let her pick off one of these skulls. At least one. It's just about fatigued. Yeah, the only thing I really cared about when taking this skull is that I could handle their front line attacks. Well, they're asleep, for one thing. But these skeletons are perfect for that job. Absolutely perfect. The stakes are very low for skeletons dying to normal physical attacks. 90 on the plasma ball. Not bad. Not bad at all. I may end up incorporating Moretta into this group, which means I got to figure out what to do with that wizard. Ring of Eloquence. I'm going to check and see what that does. Whoa! Ring of Eloquence. Strength minus 10. Terrible for a physical fighter. Intelligence plus 10. Okay, that's a lot of intelligence. I feel like Shirley is going to be the perfect person to take out that golem group. Partly from the sustain, because it can take a bit, but also because all her damage is magic damage now. And somehow Rudcliffe manages to get in there. Yeah. Yeah, hounds are really good. Really good. But their damage is all physical when they're in the front line. I'll go ahead and have them retreat. There's no point in having them... Oh wait, I already took all their attacks. Ah! There was no point. If they were in the front line, those golems would have had 4 more strikes. That's not where they were. So who shall it be? Yeah, I mean, let's just target weakest. I don't know which one that is, but whichever one it is, it'd be nice for them to go first. Yeah, the Stolen Golem. That makes sense. Balder Golems have increased magic resistance. Not bad. Not bad. Looks like I'm going to come out of this with full hit points. Oh yes. 20 experience, not bad. Actually, pretty good, I should say. 20 experience is pretty good. That's right about where I personally want to be when I'm leveling. Is because if you're getting more, they outlevel you by 3 levels or so, and that can get really iffy. Although as you progress through the game, a 3-level difference means a lot less. Like if it's a level 5 versus a level 8, that's a lot. But if it's a 12 versus a level 15, yeah, you're not quite so outgunned. Thunder Flare. I'm really looking forward. Oh, full level up. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that group getting to Freya in it. They're going to finally come into their own. Count's Garment. Count's Garment. I'm pretty sure that's vampire equipment. I feel strongly that it's vampire equipment. Okay, we've got Leia here on station. Let's go ahead and visit the cities we've taken. Sir Karakov came from Latium. He's going to lead the army of Capitrium. He's a butthead, not some great leader. He ain't no Archbishop O'Dearin. Oh yeah, this is the Eastern Division. So yeah, of course they don't think too much of these foreign heathen holy warriors. Redcliffe finally getting some action. I've reserved only the strongest prey for you, Redcliffe. You... Oh. Oh. Oh, I had Leia visit down there. Let's have someone visit up here. Well, I'm not sure, but I heard the Birthen Sentinels enlisted the help of monsters. Is that something monks should do? I use monsters. What's wrong with monsters? Why is this air unit over here? What is it fleeing from? It's not Leia, right? Leia liberated whatever that city is. Inza. We, the people of Capitrium, have flourished under the teachings of Mother Birth. We repelled Lotus and Latium, but is this the end? How could Archbishop O'Dearin, with the demons of the Netherworld... Oh, Mother Birth, why? Why is this happening to us? I'm sure it's not a plant. Just like Baldwin always does. Okay, for me to feel safe, we're going to have to figure out what this air unit is up to. It's running from Leia. Look how far up it is. What? How? I forgot to camp him, so I'm going to go ahead and have him come down, and maybe that will scare that thing low enough that I'll be able to hit it with Leia. I really don't want it trying to bounce to the east side of the river. That's what's going to be the biggest pain. Alright, so I've been waiting for Aznabel to get up here to take the next city. However, I think we can just go ahead and assault this unit here, whether Aznabel needs to rest or not. Crap! Why? Why? Those things are the bane of my existence. The only one that can resist their paralyzed attack is all the way over here. I could send Katreda, except that she's grossly underleveled now. I guess another thing I could do would be to send Rebecca and just have her cross fingers and try to stun them. Yeah, I would say if there's a unit type that I resent in this game, it's those. It's the cockatrice, because your counterplay is to figure out some way to trick them into fighting you the wrong way, or to just get to get paralyzed or petrified and then go pay a lot of money to have it healed off. I don't understand. I don't think it was a good design choice. So let's see if moving Leia down will cause this guy to come that way. My great fear is... Wow. My great fear is... You've got to be kidding me. If I don't cover this city, then this guy is going to end up capturing it or something. We're just going to go ahead and send Troy all the way back to headquarters and have him switch out with Katreda again. Okay, finally, we've got him fit to come up here and maybe liberate, but definitely to fight those cockatrice off. Since he's up here, we got access to the other unit guarding here. So it looks like there's a... Is that a Bahamut? It is. A Bahamut, a couple of phalanxes, and a cataphract. Yeah, they have some damage. They'd be a major threat to Linus, but otherwise, not a big deal. We're ready to attack! Yeah, I should have put Troy on the other side. Yeah. And these golems they're under leveled. That's the only way to put it. So we'll have to see how much damage they take. That's about what I expected. Actually, that's about what I expected. Oh, if they have heal items, this is going to take a while. They're not doing a lot of damage, but I'm doing very little, so meh. Ugh. So let's say they're doing about 96 per fight. About 96. That's all I have to overcome, and I'm not. That's all I have to overcome, and I'm not overcoming. I wonder if I can hit with Troy and then have a different unit hit them from behind. Because it's going to take a long time for Troy to manage this. I would have this unit circle and attack from the front, or from the back, but the cockatrice are pretty decent at dodging. And so, yeah, that's not necessarily going to improve things. But I think what I will do is, I'm going to have to go ahead and back him and have him heal, because their ability damage is stacking up. I think what I'll do next time is I'll come in, I'll attack them, head on, and then while they're doing their recovery state, like they're doing right now, across the river, lucky. While they're in this recovery state, I'll move to the side and try to attack from the side. And hopefully that lets me stick Troy's 1 magic spear attack plus 3 golem attacks against the leader. And if I keep hitting it from that side, hopefully that will mean, yeah, good. Hopefully that will mean the damage stacks up and I can skull it. If I can skull it, it becomes much easier to fight. When it's running away, they're just kind of dodgy 2-attack frontliners. The cockatrice are. It'd be great. Well, maybe it wouldn't be great. It'd be interesting if that thing decided to come off of its base after healing up. Yeah, it wouldn't be great. It would be terrible. It'd be awful if it decided to do that. Let's have Leia poke up this way a little bit just to see what that dumb chicken man's doing. Can we even get sight of it? Or is it just going to retreat so far away I never see it again? Yeah, I wanted Leia to be able to get back into the mix this fight, but it looks like she's going to be stuck here protecting this city from the very bizarre behavior of the chicken man. So let's see if it turns around. It should. It should turn around when Troy gets close. If it doesn't, I'll risk hitting it with something else. Yeah, there it goes. Not a surprise. Why it turned away from me in the first place, I have no idea. Come on, man. You've got to get some damage done for this to work. You can't just keep missing and getting blocked. Their damage is going to stack up. The good thing, if there's a good thing about my plan, I'm going to go ahead and retreat. No, I'll stay. I need the damage to stack as much as it possibly can right now to give me time to maneuver. The good thing about the plan is just about all of their damage is going to start going on one golem, and I can cycle the golems. So I'll be able to control how their damage lands pretty precisely. Pretty precisely, and it's not going to land on Troy if it goes the way that I want. Oh, I won? This is a complication. If I could keep winning, that would be great, but I'm not sure if that's possible. Let's go ahead and try to get into a flanking position here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that does it. Actually, that may cause it to just sit there and fatigue indefinitely. It wants to get to the city, but it doesn't want to get close to one of my units to do so. Is it accumulating fatigue? Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. The second that I take this city, it's going to retreat back to the main headquarters to heal up, and then it might start deploying against me. I really prefer to more reliably know where it's going to go. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen. Let's see, it was a chicken man group that I need to hunt down. So let's have Vincent come right over here. And to accompany him, we'll send somebody very tanky. Shirley's very tanky. Dio's pretty tanky. We'll send Shirley. She's very, very tanky. Other than Ice, I'm probably the tankiest unit in that group. Let's go ahead and take a look at the boss. Oh, it's Geel. Geel is the Black Knight that was giving Prince Yumel problems early on in the game. He's in a bad spot, so he's going to be in a really bad spot once I attack him. In fact, Isom probably just finishes him outright. Hey, another bloodstained robe. I'm positive I have more bloodstained robes than I will ever have male spellcasters. Okay, so we've got Vincent V and Shirley over here, and apparently that was enough to herd this chicken man's group onto the west bank of the river. And we've got Leia on the way to finish it off. Meanwhile, over here, you know what? I got impatient. I'm sending a couple of units over to try to... to try to take out this cockatrice group. If it's going to run from me, if I can attack it from behind, the cockatrice will be in the front. So this might be a way for me to engage it without waiting for Troy's weak unit, under-leveled unit, to take out those cockatrice, which is, it's going to take forever. So, okay, it looks like the cataphract is moving to intercept. It's not really a problem. Dio and Aznabel together should be more than enough to beat the leader. My only concern here is if I killed the leader, it'll push him back, maybe, depending on how he retreats. Push him back on top of the boss, and that it could be hard to get a hold of him after that. That's my only concern. Looks like I'll probably... yeah, probably be able to knock out one of the phalanx this time. It depends on which side the Swordmaster attacks. If he keeps hitting that left one, should be able to do it. Ugh, Bahamut. Okay. It's all up to you, Swordmaster. You're going to hit left or right? Left or right? Swordmaster and Dio should have one more strike left each. Ugh. Yeah, this is why you don't send undead against those things. If any of them are weak, he's going to wipe them out. So we did good. We beat him, while at the same time not killing the leader, just trimming one of the units a bit. Look at that angle of retreat. It's insane. It is literally indecipherable why it would do that. Okay, whatever. Well, whatever. All this just to take out a wyvern. Yeah. Do it again, Leia. So yeah, the two Valkyrie are contributing to Leia's Thunder Flare. So it's a powered up version of a single Thunder Flare. It's not a combo Thunder Flare. That would hit everything on the enemy's field. All 9 of their tiles. So we've got this cataphract here that thinks he's going to waltz right into the city and get a heal. Whoops, that's not what I want. As long as Troy is healed up, and I think he's good enough. Yeah, he's good enough. We'll just have him intercept. This is risky because we don't know where the cataphract's going to end up. He could end up twisting and turning any which way. He could end up almost right on top of either Dio or Aznavel. We'll just see. We'll just see. I don't have a healer here. In other words, Katreda, to try to maintain this this unit and the health of the golems. So they're not as tanky as usual. I actually won that. They're not as tanky as usual. So I may end up having to switch that golem from one side to the other. Let's pause. We're probably going to face the cataphract head on this time. And the one on the right is more likely to take lots of damage. So we'll leave it where it is. It's actually in a good spot to take this. So who's it going to be? Oh, I'm attacking from the side and not the back. That means... Okay. One of these can still do a petrify. Oh, very good. Yes. Yes. Oh, come on. This may skull it, which would be perfect. Oh, she did it. Come on, baby. Oh, yes. Perfect. Aznavel coming through at a critical moment. No wonder I attacked it from the side instead of behind. I didn't see it fall asleep, that unit. But they fell asleep, and it was the last thing they ever did. We've also got that cataphract a little bit to the west, headed down towards Vincent V and Shirley. I say Shirley specifically because she's very tanky, so not too worried about it. Let's go for leader here. I have a hard time thinking he would be able to retreat all the way into the boss's area. We never know, but you typically retreat away from wherever the attacking unit is. So, yeah, we'll see, I guess. We'll see. All I can do is do what I think is reasonable. So we've got 2 more sword strikes, I believe. That should be plenty. Unless he blocks them both, which he won't. Looks like we're ready to move up and take the city. Because the cockatrice group is gone. That was my last concern. My final concern was that cockatrice group heading back to the enemy headquarters, healing up, and then coming at me and me just having to deal with the petrify over and over and over. Mjolnir. Hey. Mjolnir. So Aznavel, I think that group can equip that. And now they've got a couple of choices. So I think Aznavel was going to be my liberate for this. They're pretty chaotic, but not radically chaotic, I guess is the way to put it. So Aznabel should be able to win this fight pretty handily, and then he can come down here and do the Liberate. This Cataphract, oh, it's going to be a pain. It's going to be a huge pain. And I'm actually fatigued. So here's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and pin. No, you know what? Vincent, just chill. Chill right here. Shirley, we're going to have the very first item use of our playthrough. Knock out some of that fatigue so that she can reasonably fight them. And, yeah, let him come to us. He wants to come down here, let him come to us. Yeah, this is a pretty easy decision to make. So he blocks. That's actually good on him. I'm still going to put him down to about 33. And then hit him with an Annihilation. Oh, those two knights have Blessed Swords too, so they're actually doing a lot more damage than I had anticipated. Tell you what, this is the smart thing. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to skip taking the rest of those attacks from them, which there's not much point for me to do that. I've already used my pumpkin strikes. Those are my big guns. Yeah. And by retreating, instead of pushing that squad back and then having him have his set point up near the boss, now his set point is down near that forest. So if I leave him alone, he'll tend back towards that spot. And it's a lot easier to kill him there than it is to try to scare him off of the boss and then hit him from the other side. Okay, Shirley. The big question here is, can Shirley actually overcome the damage? Excuse me, overcome the healing that she's facing. This group, one of its major assets is tankiness. Raw damage is not one of its major assets. And you can see how if I had two Freya here and they were splashing damage across everything, that would go a long way towards overcoming this healing. As it is accumulating. It would just take a lot of fights to get to where something actually dropped from it. And because of how the targeting on my stuff works, who's it going to be? Shirley. Because of how the targeting works, once something drops, it's probably going to be a paladin, and that'll cut their healing drastically, and then the damage will really start to stack up. We know exactly what their paladins are going to do. Oh, I got one. I got in ahead of his heal. Yeah, so actually, because I was able to basically spike damage, that's going to shortcut this quite a bit. They're going to get their damage in and pick off units much faster. What? Okay. They're targeting weakest, right? So I hadn't thought about that. Fire thing is a halberd. The one that the enemy phalanx has. I bought one of those. So an interesting thing that you can do is equip someone like Leia with one of those, and then they will combo. I believe they'll combo with the Valkyrie or Freya around them, and you'll get a mixed magic spell instead of an upgraded one. And that's almost always way better, because you typically get a status effect of some kind added too. Kind of like how my plasma ball will sometimes paralyze. So Yeah, mixed magic. Mixed magic is the way to go. Who are they going to hit? Oh, that paladin's probably going to go down. If my casters are wise, which they aren't, if they're wise... Oh well. They could have knocked out the rest of the healing right there. Thankfully, any moves that I do in the next combat will finish them. Will finish the healer. Here's what I should have been doing this whole time. So, Vincent's actually the more fatigued of the two, but I'm going to let Shirley heal here. And I'm going to send Vincent after them. They're not going to have any healing while they're running away. So, yeah, that would be better for him to deal with. Honestly, he's not that great at dealing with lots of damage mitigation. Or even some damage mitigation. He kind of depends on being able to get in, dodge the enemy attacks, physical strikes, and then hopefully pick up some crits. That's what Vincent's group is best at. And then Vincent himself adds in some good high power spell damage. Okay, I think that's everybody. So this other city, this is the last one. It's got a really low morale. I think we can just go ahead and send Linus straight over there. She may not liberate that. Let's, just to be sure, let's make sure she's not pegged all the way at the bottom. If she's below 5 on her alignment, then she'll capture that city. And that would be a shame. That would be a shame. Because otherwise we've done really well. And there's the kill that we wanted. Alright, now Vincent. Be a bro, Vincent. Ah! Vincent. I thought you were cool, man. I thought you were cool. There we go. There we go. So that finishes that off. And in return, I took very little damage. I think that Cataphract's very fatigued. As fatigued as Vincent is, Cataphract is way more fatigued. Yeah, and he's got him pinned, so he'll be able to finish him off that way. We're just about ready for the Doom Train. 2 strikes, 1 death. Wow, that paladin sure is a coward. Look how far away he's kiting off of my stuff. Normally it's half that far, or even a third. Alright, I think we only have 2 cities left to visit. Here's one of them. We're about to get the other one. Have you heard of Roshfellism? They are teachings started by Prince Roshfel, who established the kingdom of Zenobia. Like Lordism, Roshfellism worships Filar. However, unlike Lordism, it makes concessions for other religions. Roshfellism espouses the perfection of the self. So it's Taoism. Ah, she got the liberate. Yeah. Okay, let's have Linus take a peek here in the last town. And that paladin's being an absolute punk. He's sitting right on top of Jill. The church is the seat of power in Capitrium. Castle Yundel is powerless. Their voice is too weak to be heard. The diplomats from Latium will eventually side with the church. Sure. They'll side with the church. Pretty sure they want to wipe out all heretics as they see it. Look at this paladin. Embarrassing. Go get him, Dio. The one thing I have to be sure not to do here is lose. And get knocked back onto the boss. I think he's far enough away now, though, that that's not really a concern. Okay, and we'll target weakest. I'm not sure how that's actually going to play out. Good. If he'll keep hitting the right side together with Dio, their damage will stack up better. Those two paladins in the back are going to be the problem. Yeah, it's probably going to take a few fights. Probably. Unless I get a crit or something. Because the paladins are going to keep healing off a bunch of the damage. Yeah, their damage is not going to accumulate at all. They're getting 2 sword strikes. That's it. It's really nice having those extra 2 sword strikes at the end, because that means they get 3 rounds of hitting, and the paladins only get 2 rounds of healing. It makes a much bigger difference than just the damage of the strike would seem to indicate. Alright, so I get to get ahead of the healing on that guy and start compounding some damage on the other. Odds are the Swordmaster in the middle is going to start targeting left now, because the Knight should have less defense than that Paladin on the right. After that, we're going to have the Archer able to stack with both the Swordmaster and then either Dio or the Fencer, however they decide to do it. But yeah, units that have lots of healing are easy to defeat in battle and hard to kill. Looks like Dio's actually maybe not over leveling, but getting kind of close. Only 11 experience per fight. That's not much at all. Not much at all. So if my front line, there we go. 90 damage. Nice. Trying to decide if I think they're going to get 2 heals this fight. Probably they will, because they'll definitely get 1. Yep. And that should be enough to eat an extra attack off of me. Oh, there we go. Crit. Good job. Nice finish. Strong finish there, Dio. Pop. Bow of Sandstorm. I've got another one. Very good. I don't see a real reason to wait for Leia and Dio to stack up, but I definitely see a reason to get Isom in there first, because we got beef with Jill. Good enough, Doom Train. I'm just going to assume I was doing a Darth Vader voice for Jill. House Dragon, tell me why you're here. Are you trying to gain support from the Eastern Orthodox Church? Let me give you a piece of advice. Don't even bother. You won't walk away from here in one piece. Your lives end this day. That's it? Okay. Also, I apologize to Darth Vader for that voice. Jill, I don't think you can survive my first round of hits. Especially not now that I've got a Deanna. Oh, you talk big, but... Ooh. You only gave me 9 experience, bro. Ew. You think Eastern Orthodox Church is going to help you? I guess you don't know yet. Both the Eastern region and its church are already under our control. It was a big mistake for us to have left the House Dragon alone for this long. The House Dragon. I should have taken care of you long ago. Oh, maybe you should have trained. Yeah, if you think you could have taken care of me, maybe you should have been increasing your own strength in that time. Erdarbrun. Erdarbrun looks like a axe. I've actually got some choices. I don't know how many. Some choices for axes for my Black Knights now. I understand that Ogre has lost his station as the Archbishop of the Eastern Orthodox Church. As Gilles said, it looks like the Eastern Orthodox is controlled by the Central Division. What? Why, Hugo? It's been said that he let a Berthan Sentinel be possessed by the devil, that he had contact with the denizens of the Netherworld. That's impossible. How could Odiran... Odiran was replaced by Karakov, formerly an officer of the Central Division. It is customary that an archbishop serves concurrently as a general, so that makes Karakov the current general of the Eastern Division. But Karakov is a nobleman from the Central region. These people and the followers of Birth are against it. So you think they might rebel? There's a rumor that Odiran is dealing with the Netherworld. It's highly unreliable. I presume it's just a plot to seize control of the Eastern Orthodox Church. You think it's the Central Division? Most likely. But why now? They could have done it before, right? The reason must be to stop the expansion of the Revolutionary Army. Of course, it doesn't seem to be as simple as that. Whatever the case may be, we don't have much time. We must reach the Eastern Orthodox Church as quickly as possible. Hold on, there are 2 routes to the Eastern Orthodox Church. I think it's better for you if you know what to expect. Are you ready? The first route, we're going to say this here in a random hallway or whatever. The first route is through the Tremos Mountains, avoiding the Central and Eastern Divisions. There are no reports of enemy activity, but we have no idea what to expect in the area. You are not guaranteed a safe trip. The other is to head north through Capitrium. I'm sure that the enemy will be laying in wait for us. Besides, there is Castle Yundel to worry about. Also, this may distract us from our plans, but it was reported that an outcast Berthan Sentinel is heading for the Vert Plateau. The Berthan Sentinels were established to honor the achievements of the Knights of Danica. They are known to be devout warriors. I can't believe they would consort with devils, but if it's true, they will be most formidable indeed. Hugo, you're old. There we go. 3 different options. 3 different options. But that does it for this time. The battle was fairly straightforward. Not too many hiccups. And it was nice to finish off Gilles. One of the last jerks from the early part of the game. Anyway, that's it for this time. See you guys next time.